In this video, I'm going to share some basics when it comes to leadership patterns, but I'm going to share it in a way that not only logically makes sense, but starts to make a sense to the emotional and back part of the brain, which we really need to educate when it comes to stepping up and being a better leader. The EQ code says that a human is represented by a circle, so any human of any age, race, religion is all represented by the same symbol, and anything and everything else is represented by a square. So when it comes to business, a square will be the product or service that needs to be delivered, all the tasks that need to be done under there, and all the problems, etc. will crop up as well. They can all be represented by squares. Practically speaking, an expert who's very good at their task, their job is to focus on squares, getting stuff done and making sure those squares are green and good as opposed to red and not so good. And their job is to take red squares, if they're really good at what they do, and to convert them into green squares, so to be really good and efficient at doing that. In contrast, a leader's job is not to focus on squares and things and stuff, it's to focus on circles or people. Now, this is simple, but the point here is we're getting a very clear picture of where we should focus. So for technical people who've been very squares focused, understanding that they need to stop focusing on squares and that their new square becomes people helps them to start to really hone in on what to look for. An expert who gets promoted is often very good at converting red squares into green ones and very efficient at creating green squares. But what they're not often good at is talking to people. Now, it's very easy to talk to a new technical leader and say your primary job is to notice the colour of the circles that you are in charge of working with. So if one of or more of them is a red circle, your job is to find out why and to work out which of their squares is creating the redness in them. This simplistic logic helps technical experts to start to get really clear on what their job is to do and what their core target is. It's all green and happy circles who are doing a good job of delivering on green squares and solving red square issues. I hope this simple explanation on leadership and the patterns within leadership has been of use. If you'd like to find out more about the EQ code and the work that we do, please feel free to reach out.